Okay, so I've had my gecko about 24 hours now, and I'm just about to put some new food in because yesterday I didn't put a lot in because I didn't think she would want to eat much because it's just sort of to be expected, but she's actually been really confident. She likes being handled, and yesterday I had a little bit of the food that you make up on a stick and she ate it off it, so we're going to go and find her because to show you how she's settled in. I think she's just here. So let's see if she... Do you want any food? Any food? No? No. It's fair enough. But yeah, she's oh, see, if you see my setup thing, I will moan about this canopy, there you go, Carnabine. Canopy feeder thing from Exoterra because I've just put the bottle lid in. It's dropped all the way to the bottom and that's way too low for the Crested Gecko. It's not going to be able to get it. So I'm going to have to get that out now. But yeah, so this is day 2, everything's looking good, very active at night, fires up really nicely. I still think she's going to shed. Okay, and here she is, up in the gecko plant. I sort of put her here, I thought it would be a nice place to explore. So, and I've also just sprayed down the tank, so she's having a little drink. You can see her tail, it wraps around things. It's a little later in the day, so she is awake and she is sharing her junk to the world. I'm pretty sure it's a girl. I can't see any of the paws, which are usually really defined, especially like in leopard geckos and crested geckos seem to have that same thing. But there is this situation lump bulge thing at the back. Some females have that. So right now I'm thinking it's probably a girl. So yesterday I was actually able to hand feed the gecko. I had a little bit of food in my hand and she licked it and then she carried on and ate it. As for the food, I have noticed, I don't know if that's in focus, but she's actually ate a lot, which I consider a lot. She's actually just around here. Now I did say they hide really well in the morning. This is giving it away a bit. Okay, so it's in the evening. I've just had her out, and I would film with me having her out, but I didn't have the camera set up, and I wanted to make sure I had all my attention on her rather than holding her than trying to get the camera set up. So maybe tomorrow I'll get it set up before I get her out, and you can see how tame she is. I went to put her back and she was holding on to my hand whilst eating out of her little food dish, which is so cute, and the trust to do that is amazing. So I've got to really say that Pets at Home have given me a really tame gecko. I'm so happy. Another thing I'm going to quickly talk about is the Substrate. Now, this paper towel, it's doing fine, but humidity is a bit of a problem. It's very hard to keep it humid in here. And I've actually just ordered hydro balls. Now I always have Eco Earth around because I have my leopard geckos. So I think I'm going to change this, the bottom. It will also make it look even more natural because obviously at the moment it's just the paper towel. As for feeding, I know that if you have Substrate like that, don't feed them crickets indoors inside their terrarium because they can be quite clumsy hunters. So obviously if I did feed her a cricket, I'd take her out and feed her. But I think that will actually really help out and make this overall look even nicer. So we're going to talk about handling, weight, age, length and so on. Okay, so when I looked up about these, I realised they're like really easy to look after. One thing I noticed is they jump. Now when you have leopard geckos, you're so used to just lizards that just walk. So I was really apprehensive that I'd get this and either it wouldn't like being handled, I'll go through the whole taming thing again, which I don't mind, I like a little challenge, but I was really worried that it's just going to jump loads. And I thought I'm going to have to be confined to my room because I wouldn't want to take it downstairs where there's a cat there. But luckily last night the cat was actually in my room, and because this gecko is so calm, I was able to take her downstairs, and she's so cute. She rarely jumps. It's almost like I thought I was going to have to teach her to walk rather than jump, but it's the other way around. Now I want to see her jump. But yeah, you can like stroke her all down her back and everything. She doesn't jump. It's really cool. As for measurements, I measured her when she was against the wall and she was 18 centimetres, so it's quite long. She has a very nice long tail. And I'm going to weigh her today. They don't usually weigh too much, so let's just see how she's doing. Okay, 23 grams. I don't know if that's good or bad. Sure, 23 grams. As for age, the shop says they think she's around 6 months, which I'm happy because I didn't want a baby one because I know they can be very small, very fragile and very jumpy. So I actually really wanted one around this age. Oh, she's holding on my hand. So yeah, about 6 months. So I'm going to say officially her birthday can be 20th of February. Ah, she jumped, so cute. Other things, great things, is today I went past 200,000 views, which is incredible. And tomorrow's my birthday, so that's an awesome little bonus that I was able to go past that just before my birthday. Oh, and eating wise, she loves her food. I put in new food yesterday, you know, when I said that I'd been holding her and she was eating it, she was licking it and then chomping her in. She really loves her food, so that's always a good sign. When they move in, I actually expected her not to really touch her food for a while. I sort of lower my expectations when I first get like a lizard. I think, well, you know, they might not eat, that's fair enough, they might not want me to handle them, you just got to work at their pace. But I mean, she's very confident, she's loves her food, she loves being handled, can't complain really. Okay guys, it is my birthday and so this means I'm up a little earlier than I normally am. The gecko has settled over here again. I kind of like this actually because on the first night she did sleep in a corner and I didn't see her most of the day, whereas when she's over here I actually get to see her. One thing I was going to talk about today is the smell. So it's not a bad smell, it's not a strong smell I guess, but it smells a bit damp. And it's obviously because you have to spray it down all the time. And also I think paper towel doesn't help. Now obviously I'm going to change the substrate soon, so that should help with that. Also some people don't like the smell of Eco Earth, but I do, I'm used to it, it just reminds me of my geckos now, so I like it. Updates on the gecko. Something I find really funny, and I don't know if it's just my gecko or Crested Geckos just in general, but sometimes you'll watch them and you can tell they're slowly moving down the tank. Now I'm sure she was a little bit higher today. She is still asleep. That's one thing I can't get used to is the no eyelids, because I think, oh, she's awake, and obviously she's probably asleep. Does anyone actually know if there's a way of telling if they're asleep or awake? Because the only thing I can think of is her breathing goes up when she wakes up, because like if I made a noise or something or open the tank, her breathing will increase. So I'm assuming because she's asleep it doesn't breathe as much. Okay guys, so today I have a cold and a bad throat, but my overly priced Zoomed substrate mesh arrived today in the post. I paid like 15 quid for this. Ugh, the stuff you buy for reptiles. On everything I've had with the hydro balls and this, it does say like, oh, for like waterfalls and stuff, so I'm thinking maybe these are kind of pointless. I could probably just put the substrate straight in, but I'm hoping that these just sort of last and it makes sense to do to spend this money on this stuff. This is 46 by 46. Annoyingly my tank is 45 by 45, but I'm sure we can work something out. Also, whilst we're here, I will show you some footage I shot last night on my camera that I got part of my birthday, and it does like night vision, so I was sort of filming my gecko last night. Okay, so I have hydroballs, eco-earth and moss. I also have a safe place to put my gecko, which is really important when cleaning them out. If you want any more information on these new things that I've brought and new ornaments and plants, I am actually doing a Crested Gecko haul sort of thing, so you can check that out. And with the power of video editing, this tank is going to go from this to this. Okay, so it's pretty much full up now. I've moved this so it just goes over here, and these two bush-like plants. Lower down we have a skull and some grass and some canopy plants and these. And one thing I will say is it smells a lot fresher. Although the hydro balls do smell kind of strange. I have so much moss left over, so if anyone knows how to store that and dry it and so you can reuse it, please let me know. I haven't been able to add the drip system in yet because the silicone glue isn't quite ready for the weight, because I did try to put it in and it slid all the way down. I still can't believe that all the weight of a litre acrylic dripper is resting on some silicone glue, a bendy bit of metal and some Velcro, but we'll see how that goes. And now I'm going to add my gecko back in. Okay, so I'm probably going to finish this film about here. So it is Friday, so tomorrow it will be officially a week that I've had my Crested Gecko. I'm still not 100% sure on the name. Thank you for all your suggestions. I've had so many. I'm just sort of going through them, and when I have her out I sort of think what really suits her. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to name something, because some people, you know, they just look at their pet and they think, you know, you look like a pancake, I want to call you a pancake. I'm not like that. I am so picky with names, it's unbelievable. But so you can see a few things have changed when it comes to the Crested Gecko though. She has always been ridiculously tame, and I'm really happy. And I wanted to do this video because when I was thinking of getting one, all I wanted to see was sort of like someone who had just got one and everything settling in, getting used to the routine of feeding and handling and taming. So I couldn't find one, so that's why I actually made one. So if anyone's thinking of getting a Crested Gecko, now you know sort of what the first week is like. Obviously every Crested Gecko is slightly different. You might not get a really tame one.